Have you ever wondered what if the very thing you thought was harmless could be playing havoc with your life? We're talking about a subject that, for some, may seem like an elephant in the room: porn addiction. It's an issue often shrouded in silence, brushed under the carpet, or dismissed as harmless or normal. But let's take a moment to consider the power of this addiction and the potential it has to disrupt lives. Imagine a whirlpool. It starts small, almost unnoticeable, but gradually grows in size and strength, pulling in everything in its path. That's what porn addiction can be like. It begins innocently enough, perhaps even as a curiosity or a form of escapism. But over time it can grow into a powerful force, spiraling out of control, affecting relationships, self-esteem, and even mental health. And the worst part, it's often an invisible struggle. Those grappling with it may feel too embarrassed, confused, or isolated to speak about it. But that's where we need to challenge the status quo. After all, isn't it true that the first step to solving a problem is acknowledging its existence? Avoidance and denial only serve to feed the beast, allowing it to grow stronger and more destructive. We need to break the silence, start the conversation, and understand the gravity of this issue. We need to talk about porn addiction, not as a taboo topic, but as a real, tangible problem that affects countless individuals around the world. It's time to shine a light on this dark corner and face the problem head-on. Because here's the thing: no one should have to fight this battle alone. There are resources, communities, and strategies that can help. But first, we need to recognize and accept the problem. If you're struggling with this, know that you're not alone, and it's not too late to change. Because change is possible. Healing is possible. And it starts with a single, powerful question: what if the very thing you thought was harmless could be playing havoc with your life? To overcome a problem first, we must understand it. So, let's dive into the depths of porn addiction. Porn addiction, like any other addiction, is a compulsive behavior that can interfere with daily life. It's the repeated engagement with pornography, despite negative consequences. The person affected may spend hours, even days, engrossed in pornographic content, neglecting responsibilities, relationships, and their own well-being. But how does this addiction work? It's all about dopamine, a neurotransmitter that plays a major role in reward and pleasure centers in the brain. When someone watches porn, their brain floods with dopamine. This rush of pleasure reinforces the behavior, making the person want to repeat it. Over time, the brain starts to crave this dopamine rush, leading to compulsion and addiction. But why is this a problem? The effects of porn addiction are far-reaching and damaging. It can skew a person's view of sex and relationships, leading to unrealistic expectations and dissatisfaction. It can also cause emotional distress, feelings of guilt, shame, and anxiety. The brain, being affected by the constant dopamine rush, undergoes changes. It starts to need more and more stimulation to achieve the same level of pleasure, leading to the consumption of more explicit or extreme content. This cycle of escalation can deepen the addiction and make it even harder to break free. Relationships, too, bear the brunt of this addiction. It can lead to deception, trust issues, and emotional detachment, causing rifts between partners. And the person affected may start to isolate themselves, leading to loneliness and depression. The impact on self-esteem is equally harsh. The person may feel out of control, unable to stop their behavior despite wanting to. They may feel powerless against their addiction, leading to a drop in self-confidence and self-worth. In short, porn addiction is a complex issue that affects the brain, relationships, and the individual's sense of self. It's not just about the consumption of explicit content. It's about the cycle of compulsion and the consequences that follow. Understanding the addiction forms the foundation to overcoming it. With this understanding, we can start to address the problem and work towards recovery. The first step in any recovery process is acknowledging there's a problem. As we navigate the path to overcoming porn addiction, this initial step is crucial. Often it's a step that's overlooked, yet it lays the foundation for the entire recovery process. To acknowledge the problem, we must first understand what it looks like. Signs of addiction can be varied and complex, from an excessive amount of time spent viewing pornography, to a sense of loss of control over usage, and even a persistent desire to stop, but being unable to do so. It's not just about the time spent, but the impact it has on your life, your relationships, and your sense of self. Being honest with oneself is not just about admitting to the problem, but also understanding the gravity of it. It's about facing the reality of the addiction head-on, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. Acknowledgement is the first step towards recovery. The journey may be long and challenging, but remember, every journey begins with a single step. You don't have to fight this battle alone. This is a crucial understanding. Seeking help is a fundamental part of overcoming porn addiction. It's not a journey you need to embark on single-handedly. Professionals, such as therapists or counselors, are trained to provide you with the tools and strategies you need to regain control. They can help you understand your addiction, identify triggers, and develop coping mechanisms. Support groups, too, can be immensely helpful. Sharing experiences with those who are going through the same struggle can provide a sense of community, understanding, and empathy that is often missing when dealing with addiction alone. Trusted friends and family members can also provide you with a solid support network. In this digital age, a plethora of online resources are available at your fingertips. Websites, forums, and apps can provide further assistance, offering advice, strategies, and even virtual support groups. Remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Replacing a harmful habit with a healthy one is a powerful tool in overcoming addiction. This adage holds true when it comes to porn addiction. Developing healthy habits can become your lifeline, a buoy that keeps you afloat in the stormy seas of temptation. Let's start with regular exercise. Physical activity can act as a natural mood booster, releasing endorphins that give you a feeling of happiness and satisfaction. It's not about becoming a gym rat or running marathons. Find something you enjoy, whether it's a brisk walk, a yoga class, or a friendly game of soccer. Make it a routine, something to look forward to, and you'll start to see the benefits seep into other areas of your life. Next, we have good sleep hygiene. Our brains are like computers, they need time to shut down and reboot. Establish a consistent sleep schedule, create a tranquil sleep environment, and avoid screens before bed. A well-rested mind is a strong mind, and a strong mind is less likely to succumb to addictive behaviors. Then there's the balanced diet. You are what you eat, and that's not just about your physical health. The right nutrition can keep your mind sharp, your mood stable, and your energy levels high. Include a variety of fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains in your meals. Avoid processed foods and sugary drinks. Remember, a nourished body is a happy body, and a happy body is more resilient to addiction. Engaging in hobbies is another fantastic way to develop healthy habits. Hobbies give you a sense of accomplishment, a purpose beyond the everyday grind. Maybe you've always wanted to learn to paint or play guitar or write poetry. Go for it. Hobbies can provide a fulfilling distraction from urges and temptations. Lastly, let's talk about setting boundaries on internet use. The internet is a double-edged sword. It can be a source of knowledge and connection, but it's also where porn is most accessible. Establishing clear, enforceable boundaries on your internet use can help you avoid triggers and keep your recovery on track. Developing healthy habits can provide a positive distraction and reduce the urge to watch porn. Remember, overcoming addiction is not about deprivation, it's about substitution, replacing unhealthy habits with healthy ones. Scene script. Overcoming addiction is not a sprint, but a marathon. This is a truth that we've explored throughout our journey today, and it is the cornerstone of the final chapter of our discussion. The power of persistence. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. We've uncovered the intricacies of porn addiction, a subject often shrouded in misconception and shame. We've acknowledged that recognizing the problem is the first, and often the most challenging step on the path to recovery. We've also emphasized the importance of seeking help, of reaching out to those around us, be they friends, family, or professionals. Remember, there's no shame in asking for assistance. Instead, it's a sign of strength, a testament to your commitment to change. And of course, we've delved into the crucial role of developing healthy habits. By substituting destructive patterns with positive ones, we gradually loosen the grip of addiction. Whether it's reading, exercising, or spending quality time with loved ones, these new habits help fill the void that addiction once occupied. Yet, none of these steps can be fully realized without persistence. Recovery is not a straight path. There will be bumps, twists, turns, and perhaps even a few backtracks. You might stumble, you might fall, but the important thing is that you always get back up. Persistence is about accepting that setbacks are a part of the journey. It's about understanding that progress isn't always linear, and that's okay. It's about realizing that every attempt, every effort, no matter how seemingly insignificant, brings you one step closer to your goal. So embrace the power of persistence. Celebrate your efforts, not just your successes. Applaud yourself for each day you choose recovery over addiction, for each moment you choose yourself over your urges. And when the road gets tough, when the journey feels overwhelming, remind yourself of the power within you. The power to change, the power to heal, the power to overcome. Remember, every step you take towards recovery, no matter how small, is a victory in itself.